Hello guys, good evening. Alvy, I want to show you something. What I got in my inbox. One Hands Free Studios. The bottom of the barrel. Waifu Discovered 3. The prestigious trilogy. How incredible. Let's just send me straight up hentai. No thanks. Hard pass. Yeah, you guys don't even know the half of how much crap like that I get in my inbox. That's like the worst one. It's usually just like really boring, like cozy games or like those AI generated simulators. I get a lot of those. Like, I am literally never going to play this. Yeah, I saw they're adding like a Tetris 99 thing to Daifukatsu. That's pretty cool. I just feel like I've already bought that game like twice, so... I bought the Steam port, and then I bought the... I think I bought it on Switch as well. It's nice that it's not just the same game again. Just question why they didn't do, like, Side-Eye Ojo instead. Like, more people would want that. Especially because the Steam port, the Switch port is delisted. Well, no, actually that one's not delisted. The other ones are. The Escaluda 2 would have been a better choice as well, because that Switch port got delisted. Who knows? Yeah, I have the Escaluda 2 port. I have that already. I even dumped my ROM, so they can't take it away from me. Well, maybe they want this one to do well so they can port the other ones that people actually want. We'll probably do like Pink Sweets next or something. Something that people don't actually want. That's probably the next one. Or like Moochie Moochie Pork. Not like Ketsui or Escaluda 2 or like Side-Eye Ojo, like the games that people actually want. Just like the Tales of Xillia Remastered not having both games despite them being on the same engine and released about a year apart, and all the localization is already done. But no, they're gonna make us wait arbitrary amount of time to get both games. I hope Cave doesn't go down that path, but you never know at this point. It's good that they're like porting the games themselves, though. That's pretty cool. I think Vanillaware is basically just doing the same thing, too. They're hoping that people will support it. And I hope people do, because everybody has been begging them to port to PC for so long now, and I don't want to wake up one day and see them basically say that they're wage quitting doing PC ports because of either, like, piracy or people just not buying it at all. I hope that's not the case. I hope people will actually support it. There needs to be a reason for them to keep doing it. Especially because it's not just a straight port. There actually are, like, new things. I saw, like, new mechanics and stuff, too, so... That's worth the money as far as I'm concerned. They didn't just take a 15-year-old game and, you know, slightly remaster it. It's, like, actually new. Damn, this game is so awesome. That was a good fight. Very high-powered video game right here. I need, like, an ultimate build. That's gonna be, like, the best thing to get right now. Let me see if I can work towards that, maybe. I'll take that one. Not like the build I'd normally go for, but maybe it'll work out. We'll see. It's gonna depend what enemies it generates, because I'm on Chaos right now. Well, I'm thinking that maybe they don't want to outsource their ports anymore. I'm sure they're not happy that the, you know, the Switch ports got delisted, and they're only up for a couple years. They came out, what, like 2-3 years ago? I would imagine they're not happy about that, so maybe what they're trying to do is not outsource anymore, because, you know, it should probably prevent that from happening. You know, they have, like, full control over it. It is pretty stupid that those games are only up for, like, 2-3 years. Don't really need old-ass cave shmups to be going in the Disney Vault. I would assume that's why. I mean, that kind of thing does happen. You get somebody to outsource your port of something you actually made, and they either shitify it, or there's like some bullshit rights reason, licensing issues or whatever, why they can't have it anymore. I guess if you do it yourself, that kind of avoids that problem. That's pretty much why Capcom stopped outsourcing their fighting game ports, for that exact reason. Digital Clips has a history of completely botching fighting game ports. People are really shocked when the Mortal Kombat Legacy collection was such a disaster. I'm like, first time? The Street Fighter Legacy collection is alright if you want to just play it like at like an event or like with friends or something, but for like actually preserving the games, it's garbage. Like, only some of the games have online play, and the netcode is not good. That's why, like, the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle was like so much better than the Street Fighter Anniversary collection. The Mega Man collections as well. So I'm guessing Cave is trying to do the same thing. Just skip that part where you give your franchise to somebody and they screw it up. The Mortal Kombat collection, like, barely even got fixed. By the time that they even did any kind of fixes, everybody had already gone back to Fightcade, which defeats the purpose of making a port like that. You're supposed to make it more accessible, so people don't feel they have to go download a ROM and Fightcade to play competitively. They took like 6 months to put out any meaningful patch. So I'm guessing Cave is trying to say, you know, we're just gonna skip that part. You know, if we can just do it ourselves, we don't have to worry about that stuff. Well, you know, they don't really understand the rule of how to stop piracy, which goes back to when iTunes and Steam first came out, which is, you need to make it better than the versions you can download for free. Otherwise, people aren't going to pay for it. This has been a thing for like 25 years now, but they do not do that. They really do just give you a worse experience than if you download the ROM. And that, I don't need to explain why that's idiotic. If you put out old Mortal Kombat games from like 30 years ago, and the solution to play them competitively is still to go download the ROM off a ROM site and play it in Fightcade, you failed. Same thing with a lot of their other limited run games collections. Like, what is the benefit of playing on the legal version if you're not even going to do a good job? Like, I would buy a God Hand port Frame 1 if, you know, they uncapped the frame rate and they actually got people that played the game to test it and make sure it's not all jacked up. But if it ends up just being worse than the ROM that we've had access to for 20 years now, then, you know, I'm not going to give them money. I think most people would agree with that. I mean, it's basically what happened with the Mega Man X collection was like that too. The first one, the Legacy collection, has a ton of input lag on the original SNES, the SNES trilogy. So people ended up just going back to using the ROM on a flash card. And like I said, you know, you failed at that point, if you ask me. You got people going back to 35-year-old hardware because it has less input lag than the one that you put out for modern consoles. Then you've done a terrible job. Which is why the Zero collection is actually a lot better, because they ported those from the source code. So the input lag and everything was the way it was supposed to be. I don't think there's anybody that speedruns X1 to 3 on the Legacy collection. They're all using emulation, or they're playing on like a flash card or an original cartridge on the SNES, which is... I mean, I don't really need to explain why that's stupid. Luckily, Capcom got their shit together, and the other Mega Man ports are pretty much objectively like the best way to play the games now. Whether you're a speedrunner or casual. The Mega Man Zero collection is a lot better than the Legacy collection. Limited run games' whole demographic is basically normies who are like elder millennials, and like they know what video games are and they remember playing them as a kid, but they're not like as into it as people like us are, and like know how to get the ROMs and the emulators or like the decomps or whatever. That's their whole business model, basically. Because anybody who's that age to like actually have nostalgia for those games and is heavily invested and knowledgeable about video games, those ports are a waste of money. You're not really getting anything. That is their whole business model. That's how it always has been. Normies that, like, played old school video games but, like, don't actually know how to get, like, a better port. That's, like, their whole business model. It's a very specific group of people. It's like, a phone can run those games better than some of those ports, ironically. You can get the Mortal Kombat games running, like, perfectly on a phone. The original arcade versions, no nerfed console ports. You don't need, like, a $2,000 phone to do that. Yo, this build is actually pretty nuts. Look at this. This game is so good. Deserves a lot more sales than it's getting. This game is very powered. Yeah, those Discord scams have been so annoying. And getting those, like, several times a day. Like, somebody gets their account compromised and they spam in, like, every single channel on the server. It's always, MrBeast gave me $4,000. Like, yeah, sure he did. He's got the money to do it, but he ain't doing it. He's got the money to do it, he ain't doing it. Those people are just getting their credentials stolen. It'd be nice if it was true. Could sure use that right now. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty busted build. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a survival. So I can probably tear through them really quickly now. Try to get a lot of money and build up for the second half of the run. Well, that was very profitable. Got like 300 data from that. Yeah, this build definitely turned around. I thought it was kind of weak. The stats aren't that good, but still killing pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go for Jonan upgrade, because that could potentially be very busted with meter gain. ZX, Zero and ZX collection, yeah. They ported those from the source code, so... The speedrunners use them. As much as people sometimes dunk on speedrunners, I trust their opinion with these retro ports. If anybody knows what they're talking about, is them. You know, if it's good enough for them to do, like, world record attempts on, then... I mean, that's probably the biggest compliment a game can get. A remaster. Like, even I noticed the input lag in the X Legacy collection. I'm not, like, world record level at the Mega Man X trilogy, but I know how to play the games. I know how the speedrun works. And it felt unplayable to me because of the input lag. They were right to crash out over it. They really were. Is this just an infinite combo? I'm generating it enough that he keeps getting stuck in stasis like that. Yeah, extension charge rate is going to be the way to go, I think. I'll say this right now, this game has better builds than Absalom. The builds in this game are way more fun and unique than Absalom. I think that is not a hot take. The builds in this game are way more varied. It's cool how many ways that you can take the run. Absalom builds are fun. I just feel like you get too strong too quickly. And the way that you get strong isn't terribly interesting. Whereas in this game, you get busted if you make the right choices. But the way that you get busted is more interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take Giant Slayer. That's gonna help burst down bosses. Alright, let's see how Roxanne can handle the stasis super build. Well, Mawagre, unfortunately, they keep doing that auto-battler crap instead of a new roguelike mode. They're already on thin ice with me when you can't even use Dante and Awakening Tundra for some stupid reason. I don't know what justification there is for that. And they're like, I remember I watched their dev stream for the Kamui patch. They're like, oh, we're adding a new roguelike mode. Okay, like, can you not do that? Can you go back to making an actual combat one? So that I can use, you know, power-crept units that I enjoy, but, you know, I can't use them in endgame content because it hurts my score? This build is nuts. Look at this build! I love this game so much. This should win the Game Awards. Let's look at this! Best game. Nope, you're not getting out. Demolished. This game is the best. It's not even finished yet. This is such an awesome game. Some of the best builds I've ever experienced in any action roguelike. Lots of different ways that you can make yourself overpowered. You still got to adapt to what it gives you, but you can definitely go in paths that are absolutely nuts. This is actually better than that build I had last night when I streamed. This is actually killing a lot quicker. Yeah, Celica's class has been updated in like a year. I don't know what they're doing over there. This game is just pure fun. This is what video games should be. Not watching cutscenes. Remember when video games are like this? They're just fun. Not slowly walking and watching a cutscene. This is a pure game right here. Very powered video game. Give me kinetic cooling. Oh, you're just gonna give me kinetic cooling now, huh? You're just gonna give me that? Alright, well, now I could basically just spam the super and the screen is going to be full of projectiles. Though Kuro seems to have a problem with, doing combat events. You know, it's such a big deal that Wuwa got Elusive Realm after being gone for 2 years. It's like, why'd you get rid of the good roguelike mode? Why is it temporary? It should be permanent. I think part of the problem with that decision was that they made it... All that decision did was make it harder to bring it back, because now there's so many more characters. If they had kept it in the game like they should have, you know, it would have been easier for them to add to it gradually. It's in the current version, it was in the last patch as well. But they're saying it's still temporary for some idiotic reason, I don't know why. I'm pretty sure PGR has achieved Honkai Impact 3rd status, where it will make gradually less money as it gets older, just because of how old the game is and how much expectations are going to rise. But you know, their other games are keeping it alive. Like, waiting for end of service for PGR. I don't know about that. I'm probably going to be in assisted living by the time that happens at this rate. As soon as Withering Waves got successful, PGR just indirectly got plot armor. Honkai Impact makes nowhere near as much money as it used to. But they know that shutting it down is going to piss people off. They're well aware of that fact. That's why they keep it up, basically. Even if not many people are playing it anymore, they know that if they shut it down, people are going to get pissed. And it's going to cause a ripple effect. It's like, yeah, the people that play it will still spend money on it and stuff, but I don't think they're expecting it to be as popular as it once was. How much damage is this going to do? Is this going to completely skip a phase? Because the damage doesn't get calculated until she gets out. Yeah, it tried to skip a phase, but it couldn't. Patches are 8 weeks apart in Honkai Impact. That's interesting. Well, yeah, gacha games being behind the native version is kind of becoming a thing of the past. KOF All-Star was pretty revolutionary for that. They caught up to the Korean version extremely quickly. Pretty much all the like modern gachas, you know, everybody gets everything at the same time. GG's. That was a pretty insane run. I didn't think that run was going to get that crazy, but it did. A complete deletion. GG's. I'm already maxed out. Got nothing left to unlock. Full completion. The little vector things, the vector bits are still there. That overpowered. Nice. Some of these you can't get yet. Got pretty much all the Chiibos you can get. Most of them. Yeah, gotta wait for the final 2 bosses to be added. Pretty much all the achievements that aren't just straight grinding. I've pretty much fully completed this game. So, gotta wait for the next patch. Oh, I just saw your DM, Awagre. Yeah. I mean, you're not alone in feeling that way. There are a lot of people who pointed out how problematic it is for, you know, the main comparison to Neo 3, which is FromSoft games, having, like, full-on, you know, complete game conversions. And, like, mechanics changes and stuff, and then all Neo 3 has is Gunner mods. Yeah, it's definitely a problem. I know that they were working on getting, like, modding tools going, but it seems like it just kind of flatlined. I don't know if there was a loss of interest, or they just couldn't figure out how to move it farther. But yeah, it is a problem. Pretty much any game like that that's ripe for, like, actual gameplay mods, and all you see on the page is Gunner mods, is, it's not a good look. It pushes people away. You would expect a game with combat that good to have, like, some decent gameplay mods by now, but no, you go on the page and it's just cosmetics and Gunner mods. It's very little, like, anything of value. Well, I don't think anybody over there is working on getting the engine, getting the modding tools working. I think that's all over here on our side of the world. But I'm in those servers, and it doesn't seem like anything has been happening at all. The only thing that's really been going on is, the Out Noah engine, which is, the editor they're using for a lot of the older Koei games. That's, like, the only thing that's been going on. Are you serious? Is that with cheat engine or what? How does that work? How did they do that with cheat engine? Or did they do it like some other way? Because I'm interested in that, if that's true. Shit start.
Death is just another step on your journey.
I kind of stopped looking at that server because it's nothing but cosmetics. I don't really care about that. Especially because I have a male character in all the Neo games, so I couldn't use it if I wanted to. It's all Gunner mods. It's like, well, I kind of have a male character, so can't make any use of that. So I haven't really been looking in there. Doesn't seem like there's been much progress, though.
Draconic Ascent!
Same problem as Stellar Blade. Well, Stellar Blade is a different problem. The gameplay mods seem like they make the game a lot better, but they're in a sea of Gunner mods, so you gotta sift through pages and pages of it. Unless you put it on gameplay. which does help.
So shiny, my precious.
Stop giving me the same seed, what the hell? Felt like it's given me the same seed like 3 times in a row now. I'm gonna give this another couple tries and just play something else instead. It's not wanting to give me a good start.
Finders keepers.
Alright, there we go. Playable. Playable starts.
If only I could be invisible. My cogs turn strangely with this ritual.
I have tools for you, assassin.
Do I really need to breathe? Yep.
So how does that mod work? Is that like a full-on actual mod, or is it cheat engine? I'm going to assume it's cheat engine.
Finders keepers. Flying Suppose I should take a bite.
Neo 3 also needs its DLC. It really sucks having to wait like another 3 months. But I guess we probably have like a skeleton crew left working on that game. Now that we know that Wolong 2 is a thing.
So shiny, my precious.
Reminds me of when Xenoverse 1 got the season pass, and then like immediately after it ended, Xenoverse 2 was only like a couple months away. That's probably what's happened. Is as soon as they shipped the game, they probably had like the minimum amount of people working on it to work on Wolong 2. I don't know how else they're getting that game out so quick, but the Neo 3 players are suffering. The game is really fun. I like the changes it made from the first 2 games, but just the way that the power creep works in those games, where everything after the first New Game Plus, as soon as the first DLC comes out, it's all useless. Just makes it, like, not worth playing right now.
My precious.
Pretty much just max out the map the best you can and you're good to go. The only other thing to do is use the Syllabar Ingot to, like, max out. Other than that, it's kind of just waiting. And the fact that there are no gameplay mods outside of the trainer definitely doesn't help things. Wolong 2 looked pretty solid. It should be in better state than the first one was at launch. I thought that was the worst game they've ever put out before they started patching it. Then it became a good game over time, but by that point everybody had already left. So I'm hoping they knock it out of the park this time. Though only having like 2 moves and a basic attack string. And then having to, like, RNG gotcha gamble that your weapon's gonna have the one that you actually want. Let's just not do that.
My cogs turn strangely with this ritual.
Make it more of a capable game at launch. By the time that Wolong became worth playing over Neo 2 and Stranger of Paradise, everybody had already left. I stuck around, but a lot of people didn't, so they need to do a better job this time. Let's take the improvements you made to Wo Long with patches and DLC and just build on that.
This is not.
If only I could be invisible.
Nothing comes for free, wizard.
Are you... I don't think I belong here in any form.
I also hope the load times are fixed in Wo Long, because it feels like half the time I spent with that game was waiting for it to load. The roguelike 1,000-mile journey would have been fun if, like, half of it wasn't loading. Take, like, a full minute to load it to an instance with, like, 3 enemies or 1 boss. You kill it instantly. You gotta load back out of the instance, and then into the next one. And, like, maybe a minute of that is gameplay. They need to get that sorted, too. I hope that that's not going to be a problem again. Somebody actually went through the whole 10k miles, and they said that maybe, like, they estimated maybe half the time that it took was waiting for it to load. I'm like, you can't have an endgame mode like that, where most of the time that you're playing it, you're waiting. You're not actually doing anything. If they're gonna do that again, it was a good idea, but man, the execution was terrible. You want me to do 10,000 floors? You know, the combat and the loot is varied enough that it makes it worth doing. Especially because it kept ramping up, apparently. But not if it's gonna take it so long to load. If you play it for, like, a 4-hour session, like, maybe 2 hours of it is loading. That is not acceptable. I got, like, quite a ways into it, and then I realized that most of the time I wasn't actually doing anything. I don't know how they optimized it so poorly that it went back to, like, PS1 load times. Despite loading less of a level than, a PS1 game would. Most of the time it was just like one of the boss rooms just repurposed to have trash mobs in it. We don't even know if there's going to be weapons at all. It might not be. They might not actually have new weapons. They might be going the Monster Hunter route, where they're just going to have the same weapons from here on out, and then just, like, add more stuff to them. That's what it seems like. I hope that's not the case. But all signs point to it being yes, but I mean, they haven't said anything about the DLC. I was actually surprised at the beginning of this month when they were doing all the game presentations that it wasn't announced. It's supposed to be by, like, September, so you'd think that they would say something by now. They must have like 3 people working on that or something. It's Xenoverse 1 all over again. Remember, people were like, when Xenoverse 1 came out, they're like, you know, why aren't they doing more DLC for this? Well, the reason was they had like barely anybody working on that game. They immediately put them all on Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse 1 only got like a couple months of support. They immediately moved to the second one. It feels like that's what's happening with Neo 3. It's probably all hands on deck with Wolong 2 and whatever else they have that's not announced. So there's a skeleton crew working on it, and it's taking even longer. The problem is that just doesn't work with how those games are structured. The DLC is always like half the game, so despite the fact that they gave you more to do than the average Team Ninja game where, you know, you just do the New Game Plus, you get a build online, and then you wait months for the DLC, because that's the other, like, 60% of the game. And it's nice that they have more to do. You know, you can explore the open world, which takes quite a while. But it's still the same problem. Until they change how their New Game Plus cycles work, it's just always going to be that way. It's interesting that, like, they tried to change that with Rise of the Ronin, but it was a different problem. Rise of the Ronin had, like, no builds at all. It had basically no builds. It only had one New Game Plus. And they set the expectation that there was going to be more, but there wasn't. And Wolong is going to be the same thing. It's probably going to launch with one New Game Plus. It's going to launch with, like, one New Game Plus, and same song and dance we're all used to. You know, the game is fun, the combat is way better than any FromSoft game, but it has a lot less to do than the FromSoft games at launch, and you gotta wait. I don't mind paying for the DLC, because the DLC is a really good value. You know, like 20-30 bucks for potentially hundreds of hours of gameplay is not bad. It's just the process of waiting for it sucks, and it actively discourages you from actually playing the game. And Wolong is going to be the same thing. Like, if you really want to play that, and you've, like, completely demolished your backlog, it really is best to just wait a year. The game is on sale, it's got most if not all the patches and the DLC's out. You won't be stuck in this weird gacha game patch cycle like a gacha game, but, you know, it's a full $70 game. That's basically what they are. A new gacha game comes out, and, you know, you might really like it, but, you know, they had a hard time even getting the game playable in the first place, so you're stuck waiting, like, months for there to be anything to do. Well, Xenoverse 2 was the opposite of Xenoverse 1 light side. Xenoverse 1 just felt like a beta for Xenoverse 2. I felt robbed buying that game. I mean, I enjoyed playing it, but they hopped off that game extremely quickly. It felt like the moment they saw that, you know, the idea of the game was something that resonated with people and sold well, they just, like, moved everybody over to 2. One had like a couple months lifespan. Wolong launch was bad, yeah. It was objectively the worst game they put out at launch. It became a good game later on. The problem with Wolong 1 compared to, like, the Neo games where, you know, you gotta wait for the DLC and stuff to actually get the rest of the game, was that the gameplay was just so much worse. The gameplay was just so much worse, so you had the usual Team Ninja power creep cycle, you know, where you have to wait for the game to actually be finished. But then, like, also the game was so much worse than the games they have put out prior, meaning Neo 2 and Strangers. Problem with Strangers was the first playthrough was garbage. The only good thing about it is you actually get to fight the bosses, and you don't just burst them down. They're good boss fights, but the rest of it was trash because the RPG elements didn't matter. Because they had that stupid Destiny gear score system crap that completely ruined.
This would be better with some music and a bottle of red wine.
Made it, like, not worth looking at what you equip. It's basically just like, you had to put on whatever had the highest gear score, or you did no damage and you got guard broken instantly. I think that game actually has the worst first playthrough out of any of their games, basically. I don't know why they decided to add that. If anything, it should have been added, like, after you finish the game, so you can actually experiment with the movesets and how the builds work, and see what way you want to take your character, instead of... You gotta put on whatever makes the number go up. And nothing else matters. And it's kind of weird, because the boss fights were, like, very well made. You know, they were Neo quality for the most part, but, you know, none of that mattered, because you had to get your gear score up. Otherwise, you couldn't block anything and you did no damage. So the whole playthrough... You're basically just waiting for it to end. And then, like, all those restrictions are gone and you can actually build the way that you want.
Serious business.
Also, the patch cycle for Strangers was really weird because the first DLC was barely anything. Had the difficulty modifiers and, like, that was it. Then the second DLC is literally like 70% of the game's content. The third one did, like, end the story. You got, like, more story. There was a little bit more campaign to go through. But it mostly just reinforced the second DLC, which was the roguelike dungeon. The DLC for that game was really weird. I remember the first one came out and people were pissed that it was barely anything, and then the second one was like, you can spend 1,000 hours in this mode. It kind of makes up for the rest, but in usual Team Ninja fashion, actually waiting for that to be released was pretty miserable. But that DLC is god tier. If you like the combat and you like the builds and stuff, you could put hundreds of hours into that easily. But then the rest of the DLC was barely anything. But now that you can get the whole package for like 20 bucks and you don't have to wait, yeah, I can't recommend that game enough. But waiting for the patch cycle on that was especially painful. First DLC was barely anything, so you're back to waiting, you know, 3 months.
That was some nasty dance.
Stranger of Paradise is good, you know, but you have to get through the first playthrough. And the first playthrough, because of the Destiny gear score crap, is very boring. The only interesting thing about it is learning how to play the game, and fighting the bosses while not being overpowered is fun too. But other than that, it sucks. Can't just have like a loot game like that with Diablo levels of loot, and then make it so, wait, you can't actually equip what you want. If it's not the right arbitrary number, it's useless. And then once you get past the first playthrough, you know, everything is basically just dropping. You only have to drop the highest item level once, and then everything else is just maxed. That was kind of the flaw with it as well. I remember just going in a random pug room and getting the max item level. Yeah, it did, but you couldn't use it in the first playthrough. They didn't design it very well. Even Wolong does not have that problem. That's one thing I can say about launch Wolong that was better than Stranger in Paradise, is not having that gear score crap. It's just a problem. They just kind of shifted the problem to another area, which was the fact that your weapon could only have like 2 moves, and you couldn't re-roll them. So you could get a weapon with the stats and everything you want, but then it had shit R1s, and you couldn't re-roll them. So you had to go grind again to find one that had the moves that you wanted. And a lot of the moves are really garbage at launch. Especially against the human bosses. That was the other problem with that combat system. You get hit out of using moves constantly, so... They put out a patch that made them like twice as fast, which fixed the problem, but... Yeah, playing that at launch was not fun. You get a move you can't cancel out of against an enemy that's hyper-armored, and you throw it out because you're tired of mashing the attack button, because that's all you could do, and they just hit you out of it. And if you found one that didn't do that, because there were ones that were better than others, well, you gotta get it to roll on the right weapon with the right stats, otherwise, you know, you're not gonna have what you want. It's just a really stupid system. It was a stupid system for different reasons, Stranger in Paradise. Stranger in Paradise didn't have the crap moveset problem. The movesets were pretty well balanced if you learned how to use them. It was kind of pick your poison with those 2 games. They had pretty miserable first playthroughs for completely different reasons. The combat in Stranger in Paradise was a lot better at launch, but, you know, the gear score stuff kind of made it so none of that mattered. It actually reminds me of Star Ocean 6, where they tried to make the builds like way more interesting, but then it was incredibly grindy. You had to spend hours save scumming, and then after all that you can't even carry it over. It's like, oh, you can play the game on a different route to get a different character. It's like, well, if I have to do all that grinding for the loot, I'm just gonna uninstall the game, which is exactly what I did. I don't understand why they're so against having a New Game Plus. You're gonna put a grindy gear and build system, and you kind of required to have it, you know. Kingdom Hearts could get away with not having it because the RPG elements and the builds are very basic. And you don't really even need to interact with that stuff. I mean, the game is designed, you can literally finish everything at level 1. It would have been nice if, you know, they had New Game Plus sooner, but it wasn't like ruining the game. But, Star Ocean 6 was like, we're gonna let you make crazy builds, but you can't carry it over, despite it being worse odds than, like, getting a gacha game character. Doesn't make any damn sense. Respect my time. You want me to play through the game more than once, at least let me carry over the gear. Because otherwise you should not have that kind of system in the game. The equipment should just be static. You know, like, you can still make builds and stuff, but it's not like, you know, Diablo Neo style stuff. No, they had 9 moves each, but yeah, nowhere near enough. I like the combat, but the RNG to get a build was terrible, and the game got very repetitive because the combat was solid, but complete moveset drought. I wouldn't have cared anyway. That game would have been miserable to play more than once. I don't know why they make RPG mechanics in games and then make you not want to actually interact with them. Stranger of Paradise was like that too. What's the purpose of the gear score system? What purpose does it serve? Other than to make the first playthrough, which is like all that like 90% of the people that play the game are actually going to get through. Other than just making it less fun. Because you don't have the, you know, the number on the... you don't have the number on the gear. I thought Star Ocean 6 was a good game, but definitely a one-and-done game. Not like Tales or Kingdom Hearts, where you just kind of want to boot up a run and play it. It definitely didn't have that quality. Small moveset, no New Game Plus, an incredibly grindy gear system. That was fun if you could interact with it, but it took too much effort. Even cheating it in was not easy. I tried that to want to play the game again, and it was a pain. Would have had to keep doing it like several times a playthrough. I just decided, you know, I'm gonna move on. The older I get, the more I want games to not waste my time. Don't add grinding for the sake of grinding. Make it actually worthwhile. And if you're going to design the game around being played more than once, then let me carry over that grind. Because I'm not doing it again. It's that simple, really. Berseria was the same problem. You couldn't carry over your gear. The gear was also very boring too. It didn't really serve a purpose. It's just there to, I guess, have them LARP like they're a Western RPG. It didn't really add much of anything. It's all very small incremental boosts and stats that built up if you grinded everything out, but doing only one or two of them was unnoticeable. It was better than Zesteria's system, which was also just like way crazy and overcomplicated. You needed to have like a PhD to understand that system. Like, why can't you just make it like other games that have gear? They've already solved it. Why does it have to be so complicated? Most people just cheat their gear in when they play that game. I'm like, well then, I think you failed at putting in a loot system. If people would rather cheat it in, even people who don't normally cheat or mod games, were just cheating it in. Pretty much nobody that did the solo runs actually made their gear. They just cheated it in. I would like a Tales game with like actual builds. I think that would actually be really fun, but the last couple times they've tried, it's been terrible. It's either too grindy and too complicated for very uninteresting stuff, or it's unnoticeable. That's what Berseria was like. Berseria was like, you could get really busted if you maxed out all the weapons and the armor, but you know, you definitely had to play the game more than once to even notice. Where's the Xillia 2 announcement? Yeah, good question. Why does it take so long to port something? But like, literally everything was done already. It's the same game and the same engine. Xillia 2 is basically a RGG Studios game. Like, half of it is new. and the rest is recycled because it came out a year later. So yeah, pretty much like an RGG Studios game. That's how those games are. You know, you buy them, they're fun games, but you got to accept that, like, you know, maybe 40 to 50% of the content is new. Everything else is recycled. Well, full-on recycle entire mini games. Oh yeah, I don't know what the heck is taking them so long. It doesn't make any sense. I wonder if it's like already done and they're just waiting. Well, that's the thing. They stopped outsourcing Tales games over 10 years ago. Last time they outsourced a actual new Tales game was Heartsar back in 2013. What they're trying to do with the Tales ports, these remasters, is essentially do what Call of Duty does, where they have like multiple studios working on the games to get them out quicker. But much like Call of Duty, the quality greatly varies. You know, there'll be like a really good Call of Duty game from one team, and then the other team is working on the other one in conjunction. It comes out the next year and it's worse. And then, you know, the next year it's a good game again. That's basically what they're doing with the Tales remasters. And I guess that's to get it over with quicker. The problem is very much like Call of Duty. The quality and the talent of those teams greatly varies. So, for every Graces port you get, which is done by Tosei, which is why that port is so good, you're going to get ones like the Symphonia Remastered, which is locked at 30 FPS still and has more bugs than the original version. You know, and it took them like months to patch it. They outsourced that game to their Romanian branch at Bamco, and they were not really equipped to do that at all. If you're not going to uncap the frame rate, at the very least add a cutscene skip. They said that they added an event skip, and all it was I think it was just like the anime cutscenes. I'm like, that's useless. More people would have been willing to buy the game again if it at least had a cutscene skip. You know, because the game is replayable, but it's a lot of mashing, especially because like the main demographic for it was people that already played the game to death on the GameCube. So that's pretty much what they're doing with the remasters. It's the same thing Call of Duty does, where they have a bunch of studios working on them, the remasters, to get them out quicker, but the quality is all over the place. They came out strong with the Graces remaster, and then, you know, the other ones after that were just worse. I know that the Berseria remaster was basically pointless, because they barely added anything to it. Nothing that you couldn't already do with the cheat engine table. And like 2 months later, they put in a 120 FPS mode. I'm like, well, that's an actual upgrade that almost makes it worth buying, but it's still like $40. And on all the other consoles, you can get that game for $5 like every month. So why should I pay 8 times more for the exact same game when you barely did anything to it? No. Just gonna have to get ready for that if you're gonna keep buying those remasters. It's very much a Call of Duty situation. You got a couple studios that can put out a really good product, and the other ones put out a crap product. But because they want them out as fast as possible, they're just spamming them with different studios. So the quality is very inconsistent. Just like Call of Duty! Just like Call of Duty. They put out Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, and then after that was World at War, which a lot of people didn't like. You want to know why? Because there's different people working on it. They wanted that game out as fast as possible. Those people just weren't as good as Infinity Ward. Game was still playable, but it was objectively worse, from what I hear. So, same shit, different day, basically. That's why the Eternia remaster looks so much better than the Berseria one, because the studio that did the Graces one, they've been working on the Eternia one this whole time. And you look at the laundry list of changes they're making to that game, which it needs, because it's literally the third Tales game. It is not more modern like the past ones we've gotten for the past decade. It's literally the third game, so it needs the most touch-ups. So get ready for the one after that, whichever one it is. Zelia 2 or Hearts. It's probably going to be back to being crap again. Extremely high chance. Extremely high chance it's going to be crap again. You know, like barely playable. I will not be surprised if that's the case. I think the difference between Call of Duty and the Tales remasters is that, like, making a Call of Duty and having it come out every year is an incredibly insurmountable task, even if you have different teams working on it, but somehow remastering ancient games is too hard for them, and they can't get any kind of consistent quality. That's what's really weird about it. I get that, like, making a whole Call of Duty game every year is hard, and you have to outsource like that and split up the teams, but, like, you're just remastering old JRPGs. Like, why is the quality consistent?
心配無用。私はいつも
Oh, they will be. They definitely got coached for, They definitely got coached for the Berseria remaster. People were asking them, like, legitimately, what is the reason for this to exist? What's the reason for it to exist? Other than a quick cash grab. It's already got a PC port. It's already on, you know, PS4 and Xbone. Legitimately, what is the reason for it to exist? There is no reason. They barely even added anything to it. And they want $40. Like, that is not worth $40. It's worth like 20 at most, especially because the original one is basically given away. You can get that game for like the price of a Starbucks coffee, and you've been able to do it for 10 years. So if you're gonna bring it out again, it needs to be an actual reason. Not just we want to milk people for every cent that they have. Because that's basically what it is. And then to make it worse, the Switch version is 30 FPS again, which it should not be. Switch might be weak, but there's nothing stopping it from running the battles at 60 FPS. They're out of their damn minds, man. Well, no one bought the Berseria remaster. I think it's actually had the worst sales so far. For obvious reasons. It's not, something that people really need. Well, that's not true. That's not true, actually. If they actually put more than an hour of effort into the Switch port, a lot of people would have really liked to have that, but they consistently screw over their Switch fan base, which is weird because those are the kind of people that would want to play a Tales game more than like the PS1 and Xbox, PS5 and Xbox people. They're like way more willing to play a game like that, so give them an actual good experience. Give them a good experience. What excuse is there for it to run at 30 FPS in battles when the Wii version of Graces didn't? Same thing with Zelia. Like, the Switch version is worse. Makes no sense. How is it worse than the version that came out, like, 15 years ago? Like, come on, that is not acceptable. They've been getting a lot of complaints about... half-assing the Switch ports and putting, like, zero effort into them, and they're a worse experience than the original versions, which you could probably run on a phone by now at a higher frame rate. Oh, what happened there? I don't understand what happened there. You gotta explain that. Well, that's happening right now with Grand Blue Relink. All the videos that are coming out are from people that have, like, clearly never played it before. Some Korean site got access to Relink Ragnarok early, and the people clearly don't know how to play. I don't know, it's like, why are they looking for high-level gameplay on a marketing stream? I mean, that basically never happens. I get the frustration as somebody who does high-level gameplay. I get it, but genuinely, what were they expecting? You don't go to a marketing stream for high-level gameplay, unless it's like a fighting game. Fighting games are like the exception. You know, like esports games as well, they'll actually fly out like professional players to showcase the game, because they know if they have people just kind of face rolling that it's not going to sell the game very well. But for like action games, it's like that's just not something that's going to happen. Yeah, exactly. They're just doing their job. You can't expect the people that do the marketing to be, like, sweaty at their video games. Like, come on, man, that's not their job. Their job is to do things so that we actually have the games to play. It is a problem, yes, but they shouldn't be harassing the woman. I don't understand what it is they're expecting. Pretty much the only niche genre that doesn't do that is fighting games. Fighting games, they will actually put in the effort to, you know, get, like, professionals, or at least, like, content creators that know how to play. They'll get them into it first. Anything else? Action games, Souls-likes and stuff, for the most part, it's just gonna be random people. So, I don't know what it was they were expecting. Especially because it's, like, an old game, too! The game is 10 years old, like, if you want high-level gameplay of it, there's no shortage of it. I've got some on here. Countless other people as well. Like, why do you need the marketing person to be good at the game? I understand the frustration, but it just doesn't make any sense. The game's been out for a decade. If you want to see someone sweaty play it, you could watch people do that for days on end. Like, hundreds of hours of content. I don't get it, man. Why do you need sweaty gameplay from somebody just doing their job, marketing it? It's already a 10-year-old game. The game's already been solved. That game is very easy to break. Yes, I guess you could argue maybe they could teach that person how to do it, but do they need to? No, they don't. I don't know, man. I don't expect marketers, people in charge of doing, like, streams and stuff for the company to be sweaty. That's an unrealistic expectation. Especially when it's an old-ass game like that, where you can just go watch somebody else do it. You know, watch the stream, see how the game runs, see if they change anything, and that's it. That's the only use it is. Oh, Clip called him out on it. Good for him. Good for him. Clip's got a good head on his shoulders. He could even literally tell those people, like, just watch my channel. I don't think he would do that, but... like, yeah, that would be better than... self-promoting would be better than dogpiling on somebody just doing their job. It's like having me on a marketing stream for like a first-person shooter. Like, I'm terrible at those games. But it's like, I got paid to do the job. It's not my fault they didn't put in the extra effort to get somebody that knows how to play those games. Job's a job. There definitely is something to be said for how often, you know, they skimp on doing stuff like that, but you can't blame the person that took the job. Capcom did that for the DMC reboot. They actually flew out Sam D, the definitive edition. They flew him out to do the promotional content, and that was actually really cool because he's like one of the best players of that game, at least at the time. But it hasn't happened much since. That was like a one-time thing.
こまでたぎらせるとはな。
バット よらば明鏡止水力がみなぎる花のように強く
Well, if you're gonna stream something like that, the people in charge should not let you look at the chat. Because it's gonna make you just wish that, you know, the job was over. It's kind of like when they did the Basara 10th anniversary. And it was very obvious that the people that they hired to do the stream, they had access to the chat. And the chat was understandably pissed off because they're peddling, you know, a $2,000 guitar and an $800 rice cooker and talking about the mobile game instead of like even announcing like a Switch remaster or anything. So you could tell, I remember watching that stream and it was very apparent that they had access to the stream, and they probably felt really bad. Like, we're shilling the stuff that no one wants instead of, you know, a new game or at least a remaster or a port of some sort. That stream was a disaster. I think the funniest thing was how much time they spent talking about the mobile game, which died like 6 months later. Just hired to shill stuff that no one wants. No one bought the guitar, no one wanted the rice cooker, they wanted Basara 5, or like at least a port of some sort. They didn't get that. Hey, we need to talk about the mobile game. It's like, well, nobody plays the mobile game because it doesn't play like Basara at all. And for that type of, you know, barely any gameplay, turn-based thing, there's already like tons of other games like that that are better and, you know, more popular, so they're not going to have to worry about them shutting down. No wonder they didn't do a 20th anniversary stream for Basara last year. I think they learned from their mistakes. They knew they didn't have anything to show, so it was better to not do anything at all. You're gonna do a 20th anniversary stream, you'd better have some kind of game, minimum, like a Switch 2 port or something. You know, if it was just gonna be peddling more overpriced stuff because it's got the Basara characters on it, then yeah, it's better to do nothing. I definitely wasn't happy they didn't do anything for the 20th, but in retrospect, I'll take nothing over the 15th anniversary, which was just a slap in the face for people who bought the games with their hard-earned money to make it last that long. I hope Abyss isn't replacing Orochi. I mean, it probably is, to be honest. That's what happens when you put out new installments in Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors. They both have a metric ass ton of clones. Can't really make a new game. You definitely can't include everybody. They'd have to make like dozens of new movesets. They're not going to do that. By half-assing Dynasty Warriors 9 and Samurai Warriors 5, they indirectly killed off one of their biggest cash cows. This was Orochi, which is mostly just recycled assets in a really cool combat system. They can't do that anymore. If they did, it wouldn't have everybody. It'd probably just have the people who had original movesets and like tweak them a little bit to work in that kind of game. Yeah, the only reason Abyss exists is to replace Orochi. Samurai Warriors 5, the reboot that has clones. Has so many clones. Like half the cast is clones. You can't really make an Orochi out of that unless you're gonna full on make dozens of new movesets, or like make it not very like Orochi and only have like certain characters come back. It's interesting that decision effectively killed Orochi. They can't make another Orochi game. They probably really regret it in retrospect. Because Orochi was like pretty big profit for a lot less effort than making a brand new game. But now that can't happen anymore. Dynasty Warriors 9 has like 60 of the characters are cloned or something. And then in Samurai Warriors 5, it's like half of them. It's like a 40 to 50 character roster. Only like 15 of them have unique movesets. It's only 15 weapons. So all you can really reuse is the design of the character, and then like the unique R1s and the Muso attack. That's it. Everything else has to be completely made from scratch. Pretty much no video game that no video game that has legacy characters does that. They don't put in like dozens of new characters. Capcom versus SNK games are actually pretty unique because they didn't reuse the Neo Geo sprites for the SNK characters. They made their own sprites. So even though the Capcom side was recycled like crazy, still like half the roster was new. Street Fighter Cross Tekken was the same thing. Street Fighter Cross Tekken was like, yeah, they're using the Street Fighter 4 models again, but you know, everybody from the Tekken side had to be made from scratch, so it's not that bad. But making an Orochi would be like way more effort in either of those games. We're talking like 70 new movesets. They're not gonna do that. Smash Ultimate is the same thing. The only reason they were able to bring everybody back is because most of the movesets are recycled. Would not have had like 80 characters or whatever if they had to make all that from scratch. I mean, they actually came out and said that. It's like, that's the only reason we were able to bring everybody back. If we started from scratch, it would have been a lower roster again. But yeah, Orochi basically is not possible to make anymore. It doesn't help that Origins is built around only having one playable character, so that just perpetuates the problem, right? You only have one character that you can use from the newest Dynasty Warriors, and then the previous one, you know, there's only like 40 movesets for like 100 characters. You can't make one, really. It's impossible. I thought Abyss was fun. Maybe a little bit too grindy. But, yeah, the only reason they made that game is because they can't do anything else. Samurai Warriors 5 had fun combat, but it was completely ruined by the gotcha pull hit stun. You had to play the game on easy to actually do any combos. They refused to make like a formula to prevent you from doing infinite combos. The game was fun when I figured out how to make it fun though, but it's completely idiotic design. Don't punish people for wanting to interact with the system. Just make, like, an actual system where you can't do, like, infinite combos so easily. Not just the harder difficulty you play on, the less they go and hit stun. Stupid. Just make an actual formula. People genuinely aren't against, like, combos not being infinite, as long as it's, you know, there's an actual formula for it, not just tail style, where you do the same combo, the same timing 10 times, and it works like 4 times. That is stupid. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors 9 was basically like, instead of making a formula, they just gave up. It's like, well, you can just do a combo video on every officer now. The problem was they added that new difficulty that didn't even make the game harder. It just gave every officer like 1 billion HP. So you had to do a literal whole-ass combo video. And do a whole-ass combo video to kill one officer, which is taking it too far in the wrong direction. Make them fight back more. Or make it so it's like Basaro, there's a, you know, a formula for when they tech out. Don't just do it like, well, you can combo them to death, but it takes like 5 minutes to kill each one. So the game is really slow-paced and boring, and you would never want to actually play it. Well, unfortunately, Basara 4 commits the sin of having an awesome combat system, and then not teaching people how to use it. So, it is not perfect. It made, like, the best Muso combat system of all time. And then they don't teach you how to play it anywhere. It has nothing to do with not understanding Japanese. It's literally not taught to you anywhere. They wonder why most people button mash, and they think that the game is just a button masher. I don't know, the problem falls on them at that point. I know for a fact there were probably Japanese people who watched some of the videos that our community did, like myself and One Sanitarium and other people. That shit's not explained in Japanese either. That game doesn't magically explain how to play it just because you know Japanese. It explains, like, maybe a little bit more. The onboarding in those games is terrible. I don't know why they made such a great combat system and then they never teach you how to use it. One of the biggest resources for how to learn how to play that game is not me. It's One Sanitarium, who is also an American. I think that's kind of a problem. There's probably Japanese people looking at his wiki to this day. They're just translating into Japanese from English. that's a complete failure of onboarding. That's a complete failure of onboarding. If you have a gaijin American teaching Japanese people how to play the game, even though it's from their own country, that should be the game's job, not his. I'm glad that he did it, but that shouldn't be his responsibility. I don't know why we have so many awesome action games with such deep combat and the onboarding is just so bad that you either have to be a crazed junkie like me to learn how to play it. What's up, Gro? Hello. Here, I'll do a poll for the next game. Well, this is probably going to be the last game. I'm starting to get hungry. People really want Archlord Dante, huh? Alright. That's probably going to be the last game for tonight. I need to eat something. Yeah, Richi Seike passed away yesterday. Really sucks. It's mainly Geki Violet and Juzo and Dogold. Wars Gil as well. Man, that really sucks. Zuban, go black. Go on black. Shadow Moon as well. Man, what a loss. Just lost Kenji Oba last month. Like the old old guard from the Tokusatsu productions, they're all passing away. Really sucks. Kenji Oba was sick for a long time. The guy that I just put on the stream seemed like it was pretty sudden. Kenji Oba had been sick for a really long time. People were hoping that he was going to come back, but nope. He didn't make it, sadly.
Devil may cry.
These guys are definitely on another level. Doing stunts like that into their 60s is crazy. Especially when the people they're doing stunts for are like a third of their age. Let's think about that for a second. Suit actors don't get enough appreciation. I'm glad that a lot of people really showed up.
And now...
She's getting some recognition. It sucks that it's too late.
Okay, okay. That's a good one. Jackpot!
Yep, we lost Kenji Oba last month, too. Kenji Oba has been bedridden for several years now. A lot of people were hoping he'd come back for the new Gavan, but no, he was not in any shape to act again. Sucks, man. Lost Jason David Frank 4 years ago as well. That was a pretty big deal.
Party time!
Well, apparently he was hiding being very sick. What I get from what they've revealed so far is, I mean, he was on Gavan Infinity, so he was still working through it, which takes a lot of strength, but it always causes people to ask, you know, why they passed away. It's kind of like Chadwick Boseman, you know, working through it the whole time and not telling anybody. Takes a lot of strength to do that, but it definitely can be a shock. And there's, especially for something like suit acting, which is very intensive. But he's getting the recognition he deserves. He definitely has played some of my favorite Toku characters. Geki Violet especially. Juzo Fuwa. Awesome characters.
Now, I'm gonna play... Alright! Not so fast! Party time! Gonna play... I'm gonna... Alright! Not so fast! I'm gonna play... Too easy! Party time! Okay. This is a good one. Gonna play with you. Alright!
That's right, the Switch version of this comes out in like 2 days, 3 days.
Too easy. Not so fast.
No indication if it actually has anything new. It seems like it doesn't, but given that the branch for this on Steam has been getting updated for the past few months, it might actually have, like, Turbo and LDK. So what that means for us, we might actually get that stuff natively. Of course it's going to break the mods. I'm debating on getting it, because I don't think a lot of the DMC community has a Switch 2. I don't know. I'll think about it. I wouldn't take donations for it, I can say that much. Same game I've been playing for 7 years. I don't really need donos for that. Especially if it's not even clear that it actually has anything new. Marketing for it was pretty bad. Nothing burger. Well, Alvi, the problem is they set expectations for the 5 port to have new stats, because the 3 port did. But now, seemingly, this one doesn't. All signs to it point to being the same game we've been playing. I mean, I can't even play this game on Steam Deck anymore. I can glaze the mods all you want. I can't play this game on Steam Deck anymore because my R1 button's broken. So I wouldn't mind having a version of this I could play on the go again, but I don't know. $30 for that. I'm debating it. Game I've already bought twice.
Not so fast! Okay. That was a good one. Gonna play. Party time! Not so fast! Gonna play. Too easy! good one. Gonna play with... Not so fast! Play. Too easy. Party time. Not so fast!
Oh, they'll probably put 4 on Switch. They're going in a weird order. Just like we went from ports of Onimusha 1 and 2 just to a full-on new game. They skipped the other 2 games. Aren't you supposed to, like, put out all the old ones to see if there's an audience? It's like, nope, we're just going straight to a new game. But he didn't remaster 3 and 4. They're just gonna skip those ones, huh? Okay.
Play. Party time! Hell yeah! Not so fast! Oh, Not so fast! Party time! Okay, okay. That was a good one. Hell yeah! Not so fast! I'm gonna play. Party time! Oh, Max! Hell yeah! Not so fast! Okay, okay. That was a good one. I'm gonna... Party time! Oh, relax. Too easy! Not so fast! Okay. That was a good one. Gonna play. Party time! Oh, relax. Too easy! Not so fast! Too easy! Not so fast! Okay. Hell yeah!
Yeah, this is fun. I'm really liking this mod, but man, it's just gonna be basically learning how to play the game again. Especially because he's not done with it yet. He's going to be adding Agni and Rudra moves next. I think those are going to be put on Rebellion. So that's quite exciting. Anyway, that is going to do it for now, my friends. I'm going to have a snack and take my meds and chill out. I might actually come back later if I can't sleep. Other than that, I'll probably hang out on my Discord. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.